Okay, what are we doing here? A rematch. Okay, so same 3 minutes. Let's go over here. Let's do something different. You know, the opposite of the same, different. I think I'll block for now. I have this idea that rattles around in the back of my head about how to start a game and what the objective is. And I often think I've got a good plan, and then sometimes it goes south very quickly. But I will say, I don't want to give away all my secrets, but I will say that for me, the objective is to get two connected Yugos as soon as possible. And if they are adjacent, even better, because connected Yugos that have one or two spaces between them, they can become disconnected by an intervening opposing Yugo. If they're adjacent, that can't happen. So that to me is the ultimate goal in the opening, is to get two connected Yugos, preferably adjacent. So I say to myself, if I was to do this, that would create a Yugo. Generally, early in the game, if I can create a Yugo, my opponent can immediately follow that up with a Yugo. So I say, if I can create a Yugo here and my opponent can then create a Yugo, can I then follow that up with another Yugo? So right here, it makes sense for me to create this Yugo here. But where's my next Yugo? I haven't got anything. So I only did that because it made sense to block these two Migos heading up toward this, because if you do get a Yugo there, um, not great. But at this point, I want to connect my next Yugo to E6. So if I can get a Yugo on D5, awesome. If I can get a Yugo on E5, awesome. And I think I should block. So you've beaten me to the punch. You've got two connected and adjacent Yugos early on. The only thing for me that is good about this position is that your Yugos are closer to the periphery, which makes them less dangerous because you only got so many different ways you can go. Um, okay, I have an idea. I have an idea. Well, I was going to do this anyway. Oh, shoot. See, that was silly. I should have left F6. That was really dumb. Yeah. And I do that a lot. I do that a lot. And I realize it a moment too late. I should have left F6 so that by placing the Migo on D6, I create a Yugo on D6 instead of blocking with the Migo. Blocking with Migos is like kissing your sister. It just not not everything you imagine it might be, and probably a few things you didn't want it to be. Not that I know from experience, mind you. Um, so I have to be careful not to remove D6. I also have to be careful not to run out of time. I think Crayon also has to be careful not to run out of time. And I think Crayon is going to run out of time because that is now my goal in this game, is to run Crayon out of time. But we've done this before, and Crayon somehow still managed to beat me with an IGO when Crayon had practically no time on the clock. Was way behind on the clock and still managed to beat me with an IGO. Well, let me tell you, Crayon, not today, not in my house, not on my watch. You're going to have to pry that IGO from my cold, dead hands. I've got to be so careful. Here comes a Yugo. I've got to be so careful. I've got a pie line. What am I doing? This is so scary. Crayon, you are so scary when you do this. I don't know. What are you doing? Stop it. Slow down. I can't keep up. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. I think I was just about to create an IGO anyway. You might have seen that. I don't know. That is, I've played chess. I've played bullet chess, blitz chess, where you've got not a lot of time. And I can tell you that playing the last 5 seconds of this game is way more challenging than playing the last 5 seconds of a chess game. Absolutely. If you are a chess player, I'm telling you, because it's, you don't know what's going on. It's so hard to know what's going on. And even if you knew what was going on, by the time you play these moves with mere seconds left on the clock, the board changes so dramatically. And what was a good move is now a losing move. It's wild. I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay, now, this is what I'm talking about. If I create a Yugo here, I know that Crayon can create a Yugo here. If Crayon creates a Yugo here, I can create a Yugo here. I'm going to leave that for the time being. I'm going to let Crayon have E6, and I'll take D6 if Crayon takes E6. And Crayon goes there. I can't block with a Yugo, so I'm not going to block with Amigo. I'm just going to set myself up because at some point, Crayon is kind of going to have to play on either C4 or G8, and I'm going to kind of force Crayon to take C4 so I can jump in on D5. No, you've gone up there. Now, if you create this, that doesn't help me, so I'm going to block that. Then I'm going to take C4. R Plus says, nice game. I don't know what that game looked like to you guys, but to me, it was crazy. I probably shouldn't have done that because now if Crayon takes G8, I can't block D5 with a Yugo. So I'm going to step in here. You know what? I'm going to take this now, even though there's all this Yugo activity going on up here. I'm going to just get in on D5 because if G8 happens, I have to block with the Yugo. Have to, have to, have to. Oh, I've got a pie line. Wow. I got myself a pie line. How do I undo that pie line? I guess there's two ways to do it. Wow. Okay. But I'm going to have to block with Amigo on e5 either way, which is not fun. Blocking with Migos sucks. It blocking with Amigo takes a portion of your brain and says you're not allowed to work for the rest of the game because you have to remember not to remove e5. And then you've got another one that says G3 or whatever, and it just goes on and on and on. And the more it happens, the tougher it is to function. And I mean just to function. I can't remove now E5 or D5. Oh my goodness, Crayon. I can't, well, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to remove F8 by mistake. I don't think that's ever going to happen. Holy gee whiz. So I can't remove D5 or E5. I cannot remove D5 or E5. Oh, once again, I'm going to have to beat you on the clock, Crayon. I'm sorry. I am sorry, but I'm going to have to create pylines for myself so I don't remove these by mistake, because that's what's going to happen. I'm going to remove them by mistake if I don't. Oh, geez, I just did it.